What is making people pay closer attention to Pearl Watts lately is how effortlessly she fits into emotional romance stories without trying too hard to dominate scenes. A lot of actresses naturally lean toward dramatic reactions or loud emotional delivery when playing romantic characters, but Pearl Watts has quietly built a completely different style around calmness, patience, silence, and facial expressions that slowly pull viewers into the scene. That soft acting pattern is exactly what many people now believe separates her from several newer romantic leads in Nollywood this year. The interesting part is that she rarely needs long speeches before viewers understand what her character is feeling. Sometimes it is just a stare, a slow reaction, or the way she pauses during emotional conversations that suddenly makes scenes feel heavier than expected. That subtle emotional delivery is what many movie lovers now keep talking about because it creates a more realistic feeling inside romantic films instead of making everything look overly scripted or exaggerated. What is making the conversation even stronger now is the way her acting style perfectly blends with Maurice Sam's calm romantic energy. Maurice Sam has built a reputation for playing soft-spoken emotional characters who usually carry deep feelings without constantly talking too much, so when both of them appear together in movies, the emotional balance suddenly feels natural from beginning to end. One person is not trying to overpower the other during scenes, and that balance is exactly why people keep replaying their emotional moments repeatedly. Their chemistry works because both actors understand how to make silence feel important inside conversations. In many romantic Nollywood films, there is usually too much shouting, too many dramatic reactions, or forced emotional scenes that lose realism halfway through the movie. But Pearl Watts and Maurice Sam somehow make simple conversations feel more emotional than expected. Even scenes involving ordinary arguments between lovers suddenly feel believable because neither of them rushes the emotional tension. They slowly build it through expressions, pauses, eye contact, and soft dialogue delivery that keeps viewers emotionally connected. Another thing people have started noticing this year is how Pearl Watts carries emotional pain in movies without making it look artificial. In several recent romance dramas, viewers noticed how she can look heartbroken without overacting, and that ability is becoming one of the reasons many people now see her as one of the strongest romantic actresses currently appearing in Nollywood productions. Her emotional scenes with Maurice Sam especially stand out because he naturally reacts well to quiet emotional tension. Instead of forcing chemistry through physical closeness alone, both actors build emotional intimacy through conversations and reactions that slowly grow stronger as the story moves forward. That style is becoming more appreciated now because viewers are getting tired of romance stories that focus only on dramatic attraction without emotional connection. Another major reason this conversation keeps growing is because their movies usually create a comforting atmosphere that makes viewers feel emotionally attached to the characters very quickly. Pearl Watts has this soft emotional presence that immediately makes audiences sympathize with her characters, while Maurice Sam often plays the caring, emotionally patient type of man that viewers secretly enjoy watching in romance dramas. When those two styles combine, the result usually feels smooth and emotionally addictive. A lot of people now say that even when the storyline itself is simple, the emotional chemistry between both actors still keeps the movie interesting enough to continue watching. That is a powerful advantage because it means viewers are not only depending on dramatic plots anymore, they are becoming attached to the emotional comfort both actors create together on screen. Another reason people cannot stop discussing Pearl Watts this year is because she has slowly improved her emotional confidence in movies without losing the softness that originally made people notice her. Some actors become less natural once they become popular because they start forcing expressions or trying too hard to look intense in every emotional scene, but many viewers feel Pearl Watts still acts with the same relaxed emotional realism that first attracted fans to her performances. That consistency is helping her stand out in a year where many romance movies are being released almost every week. Instead of disappearing inside crowded movie releases, her scenes with Maurice Sam continue standing out because audiences already expect emotional comfort, tension, and believable chemistry anytime both actors appear together. Another thing making people more interested now is how both actors understand timing during emotional scenes. There are moments when Maurice Sam delivers emotional dialogue slowly, while Pearl Watts reacts quietly without interrupting the emotional atmosphere, and somehow those scenes end up becoming more memorable than louder dramatic moments. Viewers now pay attention to those smaller emotional details because they feel more realistic than exaggerated romantic acting. Even scenes involving heartbreak or misunderstandings feel calmer and emotionally mature compared to the chaotic style many romance films usually rely on. That maturity inside their emotional delivery is becoming one of the biggest reasons viewers now describe them as one of the strongest romantic pairings currently appearing in Nollywood. People are also beginning to appreciate how Pearl Watts can switch between vulnerability and emotional strength very smoothly during romantic stories. In one scene, she may appear emotionally soft and deeply hurt, while in another moment, she suddenly becomes emotionally firm without losing the natural realism of the character. That emotional flexibility makes her scenes feel less repetitive, and Maurice Sam's calm acting style gives her enough room to fully express those emotional transitions naturally. Instead of competing for attention during scenes, both actors seem to understand how to support each other emotionally throughout the storyline. That teamwork inside emotional acting is one of the reasons viewers now describe their chemistry as effortless rather than forced. Another thing adding fuel to the conversation is how many viewers now recognize Pearl Watts as one of the actresses who can carry emotionally heavy romantic stories without making them exhausting to watch. Her performances usually remain emotionally soft even during painful scenes, which creates a smoother viewing experience compared to extremely loud emotional dramas. Maurice Sam's gentle romantic presence also complements that atmosphere perfectly because his characters often react with patience, emotional restraint, and quiet affection instead of aggressive emotional behavior. That combination is quietly becoming one of the most recognizable romance formulas people now associate with both actors. What makes everything more interesting is that neither of them depends heavily on exaggerated glamour to create attention inside movies. Instead, viewers are becoming attached to how believable their emotional connection feels during ordinary conversations, arguments, comforting moments, and romantic tension scenes. Many people now believe that this realistic emotional style is exactly why their movies continue attracting strong attention